Hello again, everybody, on TransByDef. This is Katie again. This week's topic is trans awareness. And going straight into it, there are different ways to be out there and show awareness within the community and kind of worldwide. First thing being, locally, I get involved with local support groups and different organizations. There's quite a few that I've been talking with locally. I have had to deal with it as far as at my kids' school since I've come out. I've had to where I had the school ask if I would talk about being transgendered and everything with some parents that had some questions and concerns, which I gladly did. And it actually turned out quite well. Parents turned out to be very nice and everything. We're very wonderful about that. The other was I kind of got forced into it a little bit more than my school was. I had a neighbor at my old community decide to out me to the homeowners association and to members of the community in the North Charlotte area, and because I was fairly active previously in different groups in the North Charlotte area before I transitioned, so yeah, I kind of had to explain myself, and a lot of people had questions, and a lot of stereotypes came into play. It really sucks because it seems like society only thinks that everything's like reality TV or Jerry Springer or Oprah or whatever, or Dr. Phil and shit like that. Don't get me wrong, some of those they've talked about transgender people in positive ways, like on Dr. Phil there's been like one or two I think that were not bad, but as a whole not the greatest source of information about transgender people, especially TV shows. Horrible, freaking horrible. Even GLAAD just did a article that basically talks about how transgender people are put into a negative perspective on TV shows, basically saying that they are murderers and all this other stuff. And there's very few shows that show transgender people in positive roles. So it really sucks because all those stereotypes come together and that's what people in society think. And that's why I've kind of started getting more involved, I guess. I didn't honestly want, I'll be honest, I really didn't want to get involved once I started transitioning and I went full time. I kind of wanted to kind of go under the radar, but with my kids, and my ex living in the same community and everything, and going up to the school, and I used to be involved in the PTA, doesn't work so well. So, kind of had to, that gave me a big kick in the butt to get out there. Don't get me wrong, I live in a whole new side of Charlotte now. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows that I'm transgender. Or transgender, God, I always slip up with that. But, yeah, where I live now, nobody knows. I don't feel like outing myself, mainly for my kids' sake when they're here. I have my kids every other week. When they're here, nobody needs to know. That should be a null point. So, if it gets brought up, sure, I'm up for a discussion. Anybody who wants to discuss it, I'm all for it. I love discussing any type of topic. As long as you're not going to be a jerk about it, let's talk. So, I forgot to turn my phone off again. Darn. Oh well, continuing on. Next thing is getting friends and family involved with transgender awareness. I have a lot of friends that have kind of taken it upon themselves to inform others about how transgender people really are. Because when I came out, evidently their friends found out about, oh, they have a trans friend, and they started giving them all kinds of crap, and they stood up for me and talked to these people for me. And it helped quite a bit, and I've talked to a few of them, like when I met within groups and everything, of these people that I've never met before that my friends have talked to and made them aware of the different aspects of what I've gone through and what I've dealt with and everything. Because those people fell into the category of they just went by what they've seen on TV. So, another pain in the butt part of it. Another thing is online, YouTube, which right here on the TransByDef channel. That's a great way to get trans awareness out. On Facebook, on the Facebook page and everything. I also post quite a bit. I used to not post. For a while when I first started transitioning, I kind of wanted to keep my Facebook kind of clean of it, and then I was like, you know what? If you're my friend on Facebook, you're going to know I'm transgender. So, you know what? Fuck it. So, I post quite a bit of different articles and things going on in my life and as my transition progresses, because there's always something new. It doesn't matter if you're full-time or not. Just like tomorrow, I'm going for the first time to the salon I used to go to for years. I stopped going about a year ago, and I'm going to see the stylist that I used to see. So I'm kind of excited and I'm kind of nervous because she doesn't know anything about my transition at all. I called and made the appointment under my, of course, new legal name. So the only thing I might have threw a red flag is my phone number's still the same, so I don't know if their system might have picked that up or not, but neither here nor there. But yeah, there's always something new that you haven't done before and everything. Just like this year was my first Thanksgiving with my family and everything. So, and that was another thing. My mom has worked with her neighbors and making them aware of me because they had a lot of questions, because I used to be at my mom's a lot and very active, helping my stepdad work on the cars and everything, so I was outside. People started seeing me differently coming to the house and had questions and didn't understand it, and some got frustrated and everything. So my mom had to go over what is going on with me, and same thing, overcoming different stereotypes. Now my neighbors that have kids the same age, they're fine with it. They're totally cool. At first they were a little hesitant because they just did not understand. Now they're super cool about it, which is awesome. But yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at, if you're wondering, I'm like looking down. I have my notes this time, so I'm not sitting here going, duh. But yeah, the other thing Pamela brought up, which I thought was really, really awesome, great idea that I'm actually going to look into doing, is talking to different local businesses that are LGBT friendly about how they're aware of transgender individuals and everything, as far as if they know how to deal with customers that are transgender and everything. So that's one thing I want to do. Because like I said, I really wasn't involved, and I kind of, in a way, kind of got involved in the community. And when I did, I just kind of went full force. So, Yeah, let's see here. Even locally, another thing for, and I'm kind of going, my list is kind of ended, but I just thought of something. Another thing online that has turned more locally for helping is different forums, and actually my personal YouTube page has had people find me that are local here in Charlotte, that were seeking help in different areas of how to transition and everything, and getting pointed in the right direction. And I've met with 3 different girls so far, in helping them, pointing them in the right direction as far as finding a therapist and everything and whatnot. So there's all kinds of different aspects of trans awareness. I'm not going to, I'm all for being out in a lot of different areas as far as being trans, like when I'm at the LGBT community center and everything like that. My friends know, of course, my family. But I'm not going to go out there, unfortunately, and this is mainly just because I have kids and I have to just look out for them, is I don't go out there waving a flag and everything, saying, hey, I'm transgender and everything. Don't get me wrong, it's crossed my mind that I am proud to be transgender, but I look at it more of a safety aspect for my children. So I kind of got to look at it that way, unfortunately. And that's just because the way society is, and it really sucks. I actually just was speaking about that with my friend who was just here visiting me a few minutes ago, and we both agree it's just the way society is, and it really sucks. We want society to be aware of transgender individuals and understand them, but there's sometimes you got to keep it private, unfortunately, just for safety reasons. But yeah, those are different ways that myself and you can get out and promote transgender awareness in the community, online, all kinds of different ways. So, I swear one time I am going to do a video here. I'm not going to be coughing. I'm not going to have to use a cough drop or anything. And it's going to be fine. Oh, God. I don't know whatever this is going around. I hope it's gone soon. It needs to go bye-bye. Just like this. So, till next time. Bye.